And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for more minor league esports action presented by APM Music. We've got an exciting Champion League matchup for you here. The Sabres versus the Knights. My name is Lars Newt. Joining me here yet again in the casting booth is the guy who made this worth watching last time, carried me through that cast, Boof himself. Boof. Thoughts, questions, concerns, comments, hopes, and or dreams.
Lars, I'm in the banana hoodie. No, that's not me. That is the wonderful combination of us. And when we join together, especially on MLE, magic always happens. And that's what that last series was, coming down to a Game 5 decider in the Foundation League. And now we are stepping up where that was wildcard implications. That was 4 versus 5. And guess what, Lars? We move from one series that was looking in those mid-season wildcard hopes to another series that now has wildcard hopes. We have the Knights playing host to the Sabres. Both of these teams are fighting for that wildcard spot. The Foxes currently sit one spot below it. The Knights have a little bit of room to climb, so both of these teams really want to get some wins here tonight.
Now we'll talk about these teams real quick. The Knights coming in 17-23, going up against the Sabres sitting 19-21. So, like in Foundation League, we could probably expect a pretty even matchup between these two teams. The Knights look like they're going to be represented by a Loaf of Bricks and Pool Sharker. The Sabres, Royal and Sammy. And I know kind of in the pregame here lobby that we were talking about, you had some thoughts on some of these players.
Well, it's just if you look at these guys as the tail of the tape, you really see two stat heads. You see Royal really has been the front runner for this Sabres team, and Loaf of Bricks has been the guy. I mean, you look at it, MVPR, goals, assists, saves, shots, win percent. I mean, it's all team MVP right there for the Knights, Loaf of Bricks. And so when you're looking at two teams that are being led by one specific player, obviously they have to step up as a player and continue to play at the high level. You want to see what team plays around that player well, who can step up and support them, who can find ways to assist them or make goals of their own to take that pressure off. Both these players should have a very good series. It's who helps him out. Will Pool Sharker or Sammy step up? And that is the important question heading into this series.
Yeah, you look at some of these players that have huge stats, and I think the big note is you only get to have stats like that when you have a great support player. And as we get into game number 1 of this set of 5, you said we'll see who is going to be that better team combination. Sabres opportunity, and bye-bye. We'll send this one down. Royal to clean this one back up. And quick back and forth in the first 15 seconds.
Well, Pool Sharker had a chance there, but doesn't want to pull the trigger. He saw that Dominus kind of sitting in the net. Doesn't want to give a transition play back, but now misplayed. Bye-bye. Has to beat Royal here on the backboard, but a very good slow play, but a very errant pass. That's going to give Pool Sharker a chance. Sammy gets the save. Royal for the clear. Good team defense there, but they are not out of the woods yet as Royal finally and thankfully gives them some breathing room. Tries to get away, but bye-bye. Saying bye-bye as he is demoed a big-time save. Royal able to deny this one in time.
Exactly the play that the Sabres needed there to get that one clear and keep the pressure off. Bye-bye with another opportunity. We're talking a lot about the Knights so far here in this game, and it feels like they have done an excellent job of finding that offensive pressure, of keeping that ball contained, of attacking that net, just haven't found a way to finish it off. Sabres, on the other hand, kind of just a one-off here and there for offensive pressure. I'd like to see them find a way to match some of that Knights energy. Shot on. Pool Sharker to send this one back down. See, it's a scramble of no boost. Pool Sharker finds a way to make it happen.
Just no boost, but enough control on that drift there, coming around the ball, sliding into it. And then just the softest dink to put it in, Lars. Sammy and Royal running back. A quick shot here for the Knights.
The Knights will take the first goal of the series. Just joining us here at Minor League Esports. Remember, this is a set of 5, not a series of 5. We will see Game 5, regardless of what else happens. Bye-bye. Back past the Pool Sharker. Knights trying to play the control game right now, as really the Sabres have as well. We'd like to see that, not just blindly pushing the ball down towards the net. Really looking to keep that ball in possession, not deny your opponent opportunities, and find one for yourself. Sammy off of Royal to tie it back up.
Well, Lars, I was waiting for a chance to break some of this. I got a DM from Big C talking to him off and on. Love talking to this guy, the GM of the Sabres, and he told me Royal and Sammy, they're friends in real life. Their cohesion and their meshing will be what's important, and they find a way to match early and an assist to the goal, starting us off and tying this game back up.
uppercut out of Sammy there, but does push it towards the net. Royal should have no problem finishing it off, and they don't. A quick 2 here out of the Sabres to turn this one back.
Just some style points there. You're rarely going to pass the ball with the bottom of your car, Lars. So that's what it was. They had the demo. They had the space. 2-1 here. The answer from the Sabres as they not only tie it up, but get a lead for themselves. Poolsharker and company sent reeling, but now an opportunity opens for them. But Poolsharker, that dominance a little bit too unruly, unable to find it here. Royal and company trying to find one of their own.
Interesting here that the Octane may be the most popular car in Rocket League, and Royal perhaps showing why. We'll return to that in a second.
Well, just a big-time victory there. Poolsharker running home and gets there in time, but a big win from Royal, dunks it on and stays there. Axel Day, not skipped if you're on the Sabres side.
What I was trying to say is that the Octane may be the most popular car in Rocket League, but this is a lobby of dominuses. 3 on the pitch currently between the Knights and the Sabres. Back and forth. This little dump and chase out of both these teams. Kind of not the typical we've seen out of them. Poolsharker looking for the physical play. Doesn't find it. And bye-bye will be forced to just take 50 on the back wall.
Poolsharker 50ing there, but Sammy winning it at the point of attack. Bye-bye. An awkward touch. Poolsharker, though, just waiting in the wing, getting a demo to just stall that offensive possession and a very good chip. Sammy running home to that back post, getting a save. Now the Sabres trying to find one of their own, a pass off the backboard, but no way, Jose. It's turned away by Bye-bye now. Knights looking for one here. Royal throws it back. A bit of a tennis game starting to coalesce, Lars. Just back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah, we were praising for the control earlier, but now it's a lot of dump and chase. Let's just get that ball in the offensive end and then see if we can't run it down to find a way to finish it off. That one's just off the post, and the demo from Poolsharker to ensure the Sabres don't find a fourth just yet.
I will say Poolsharker's name, absolutely perfect. Just sitting there in the shallows at midfield, just circling, waiting for one of these Sabres to step up. Demos aplenty, but goals need to be aplenty. They are down 2 here as the Sabres, they put pressure on. They haven't found another goal after that 3-0 run. It is stalled after that, but they have enough. They're playing with a lead. Knights have to break through this wall once again.
Look at that stat line there. Both these teams finding around 8 shots, 9 shots for the Sabres on net, but 6 saves out of the Sabres and 4 out of the Knights. This has been a power slugfest between these two teams, just trying to get that ball forced home, but neither team really will bend, just trying to stand tall. Sabres doing so just a little more effective.
As of right now, you're right. The Sabres have found a way to put it in when it matters. They're up 2 big right now. And Bye-bye company, they have to find one more. Poolsharker waiting here off of Sammy's touch. And he's actually going to get a very good look here. But it goes off the backboard instead. Royal using that Octane, but cannot beat Bye-bye Sammy. Very patient here. Knows the last back. Goes to far post. Turns awkwardly. Is now a chance from Bye-bye. But that demo from Royal out at midfield stalls this offensive attack. That pass, which could have been a shot, turned away.
Final 10 seconds of game underway, and the Knights need to find a goal right here. There's an opportunity not quite on, and that will be the game as Sammy is allowed to drive this one back down. There's just not enough time. The Knights now fighting for one for the road. They don't find a way to keep it up. Sabres in game number 1, but an even matchup. Scoreline to the side. Both these teams doing an excellent job of bringing pressure downfield. 9 shots apiece for these teams on the net. And a big defensive stand, this time just a little bit heavier on the Sabre side.
You said it, 9 apiece. I mean, that is offensive pressure at its maximum. I mean, unfortunately, there are no assists on the Knight side, and that's one thing I would be like, that is worrying to me, but it's not. I mean, if they get some of those goals, of the 6 that were saved, those are assists. I want to see them collect a little bit more time and a little bit more control and maybe find a higher quality shot, because they found a couple back-to-back, but they're looking for those second and third shots consistently. If you don't do that and you just keep hitting it one at a time, Lars, these players are too good. You know these guys. CL, you guys are going to sit back and eat up those shots.
Yeah, I think that there's 2 big keys here. Is the Knights struggling a little bit to get those follow-up opportunities. 9 one-off shots on the net. doesn't mean as much as a burst of 9 shots on the net. That would be a hugely different scenario if they could bring these in sets of 3 or 4 and just get follow-up real quick. But part of that, it's not a lack of skill on the Knights side, but credit to the Sabres. They're not just getting these saves. They take that one-off shot and then direct it away from a shooting lane so that they don't get that opportunity for the Knights. The Knights have to find a way to disrupt that, attack the back wall at more awkward positions, really force the Sabres to dive, and get physical. Throw that suit of armor down in front of the Sabres. Really try to muscle your way through. As it stands right now, Sabres control the series. Looking to put another one on. Royal will push that one away. Could be a difference maker, but not quite yet. Only time will tell.
An early chance for the Sabres to go up again. Royal, though, knocking on the door, but turned away by a defender. Bye-bye, and the Knights finally get a little bit of breathing room, and it's a lot of space, a lot of open real estate. Royal running home, that Octane making it just back in time. Lars, the chicken's not burnt, no goal to be had. As now a backboard pass to Bye-bye. Sammy gets the free 50. MVPR farming maybe there. Sabres get a save here, stalled out as we just reached this half-minute past.
Well, we see this back and forth, and it was very similar to what precipitated the first few goals of that last game. We saw a lot of control play at the beginning half of game number 1. Now we're seeing the manic back and forth that we saw that led to goals in game number 2. If you're the Knights, maybe bring that control play back, because in this transition, it appears the Sabres hold the advantage.
Well, right now, it's no one's advantage, Lars, and there it is. The Knights do it. They find the big-time 50. They control it. You asked them to do it. The ball stops on the Sabres side, and so Bye-bye taking advantage of it off of the big 50.
Well, you did lead the statement with the words "right now." It's just that "right now" only lasted about 2.5 seconds after you said it. Yeah, right, this instant, right now. The Knights will find the lead here in game number 2. The question being, can they extend and retain, or do the Sabres show like they did in game 1 and bring this one back?
Well, you don't want to put anything on the table because it's still 3.5 minutes left. Both these teams, ton of shots last game. They have pressure, they have ways they can do it, and they work with a team. It has been fun to watch. These guys want to find their teammates. They want to find passes. They want to find shots. So whoever can break it down consistently, Lars, that is who will get a lead here. And now Bye-bye has a chance, but can't find it. Royal pull shotted into it. As now Sammy and Royal both from the back end here. A ball very dangerous, but a good kick from Royal stalls that out.
Back and forth. Bye-bye with an opportunity, but throws that one just wide. Not quite enough power to beat out Sammy as it was. A way to get that one effective, because you know what they say, 2 is 1, 1 is none. This lead is tenuous. Knights could lose this at any moment. I'd love to see them extend it out. You know, sometimes it is a burden being right as much as
Lars Stradamus has made an appearance tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Back-to-back series, mind you. And any moment, you knew it was just exactly that moment when the lead would be lost, right?
Oh yeah, I saw that developing. I figured, hey, this is prescient to say this right now, because it'll happen just right in a second here. Seeing that offensive play develop. Now we get tie game, halfway point in game number 2. Again, we expected an even close matchup between these two teams, and what do you know, so far, an even close matchup between these two teams.
Oh, back and forth right now. A tie ball game as Bye-bye looks down. Pulsharker playing very patient here, waiting for Royal to pinch it off, and does a nice look here. Pulsharker running back home, collects it in their corner, pushed it past one. Royal, though, very patient here, but not a favorable touch. Pulsharker past the Bye-bye. Bye-bye puts that arcing in on, but no, it won't bounce bar in. It bounces bar out, excuse me. Sammy now with another touch here. It's going to put it on. It's bar out. No, it's going to go in. That was a
well, a demonstration of why it's so incredibly difficult to read the touches off this bar.
That was a car.
Not the bar at all.
That was a car. Yeah.
That is Pulsharker. That is Pulsharker picking up, I believe, their first goal of the match. Yes, it is. Excuse me. I think it is of the match, actually. Well, Pulsharker finds a way to find a goal. It's just not on the right end of the field. The Sabres gifted the advantage here as we get down to the 90-second mark. But they said for the Knights, 2 is 1, 1 is none. And the Sabres are going to say, yep, we agree. Let's extend this one back out.
If 2 is 1, 1 is 1 is none. How many is 3? Because Sabres find a way to make it 3 goals here, Lars, in game number 2. They've extended their lead to 2. And once again, they score 3 in a row, right?
Well, I would say a lead of 3 is going to be the only place you could really start to feel comfortable. Even at 2 goals, things can start to fall apart very quickly. And I'm going to guess, I'm going to save it for maybe the viewers to find out in a minute what that sound was for an uh-oh. I've got my thoughts on what it was, but right now it's uh-oh for the Knights. Under 90 seconds, down by 2, down in the series. They have to find a way to make the magic happen, get the comeback going. Put your rally caps on. Let's get some scores for the Knights.
Well, it's going to be important for the Knights to get some control, find a way to stall this ball on the side, because that's where they got their goal. It was a big-time 50 from Poolsharker, and Bye-Bye was waiting behind them. Another chance here for them. I like this one person pressing on another person behind them to fire that shot. There it is again as Poolsharker turned away, not by 1, but by 2. Sabres there. Double the commit. Double the pressure and 1 save to stand for it. And right now, they only have 2-goal lead, 1 to give up. Sammy flips the field here, and it's going to find a way in and make it a 3-goal lead.
There's the comfort goal. That's the one you want if you are the Sabres. And I don't blame the Knights for being as upfield as they were. They need to find offensive pressure. They had an opening. They just couldn't quite find it. And that's one of the advantages of having the lead as you get down into the 90-second mark, because it forces your opponents into this kind of position and opens up more opportunities to send that ball down, just like we saw here.
Lars, a very good team in mind, a very good friend of mine told me, you know, losing by 2 and losing by 3 is the same thing. So that's what they were doing. They were just taking it off, Lars, and just trying to find a way back. Now it's just trying to protect it and find that feels-good goal here with 14 seconds left, with the Sabres choking it out. And no, Royal can't find it or just doesn't want to put another one on. Bye-Bye and company collecting this here. A nice pass here. No, it's a shot as Sammy has to run it off the backboard there. And that is how game number 2, I think, will fall to an end.
Well, you're correct. That was indeed how that game will fall to an end. And I'm guessing, I'm going to go ahead and put it out there that oh no was something else falling that we mentioned earlier. We'll see if we get a different angle of Poop in a second here. But we do get a bit of a different angle of the Sabres. Not quite the offensive attack that we saw in game number 1, where we saw a ton of shots on net coupled to a ton of saves. Here we see still decent numbers, but not surprisingly large, or anything even surprisingly low. 6 shots on net for Champ League teams is kind of atypically low, but it's developed off of this aggressive play style that I'm a big fan of. Get up in the face of your opponents. Don't allow them to develop those offensive opportunities. You don't have to make a lot of saves. They don't get a lot of shots. And if they can't get shots, they can't get goals.
And that's mathematically right to me. You can't score if you don't shoot. So that's a really, really good equation there, Lars. So slowing down offenses has always been what you want to do on the defensive side. And that's both what these teams did. They had 9 shots each the first game, right? And so they were like, whoa, guys, let's chill out a little bit. Let's slow this one down. And that's what both teams did. Not offensively, but defensively. They were closing out on shooter. They were finding ways to interrupt passes, and they were making midfield stands. It was just back and forth. And then all of a sudden, Sabres just go, oh yeah, we can score, and then score 3 again.
Yeah, we're talking about math and comparing numbers. Let's talk about math and comparing the one number that counts. If you score more than your opponent, generally you're going to walk away with a victory. That's typically how that works. Now, nothing's promised here in the world of Rocket League, but I'd like to see my number be bigger than their number. Except for when it comes to ping. I think that's the one area that maybe not so much. As Bye-Bye looking to get the goal scoring going for the Knights here in game 3. Sabres looking to pick up a 3rd victory in just as many games.
I feel like that just boils down sports to its simplest terms. At the end of whatever, my number is bigger than your number. That's beautiful, Lars.
Golf, but I call it John Madden broadcasting. Now, if you put the ball in the end zone, you're going to find a way to score the ball a little bit more often. Here we see it in Rocket League. If you put it in the net, back and forth. Let's go ahead and get back to the action on the field. Here's an opportunity for Royal Elects not to push as Poolsharker gets that one cleared to the wall. But it's Sabres pressure for the majority of what we've seen gone so far in game number 3.
Well, it's kind of stagnated at midfield. You said there was an opportunity, but Royal didn't want to pull the trigger. It is twos, but this is a chance for Royal, but they don't turn. Now, I won't say that that is a very... when you usually turn on, if you can turn on that, it's an incredibly hard read, but I like to see those from players. Royal, though, taking the boost instead, just respecting Sammy's control. And instead of overreaching to have both players up, they're just like, we're in a handshake right now. We are in control of the series. It's 0-0. We don't want to overcommit. Poolsharker, they're throwing it out. A nice touch from Bye-Bye, but no, it's too far. Just a bit high and just a bit left.
There is absolutely an argument to be made for quality and quantity. And quantity is so critical here when it comes to putting pressure on the net. We've harped on it all night long here about how critical it is to bring that pressure down. It starves out your opponent. I mean, just think about it. You're controlling the ball in the front quarter of the field, pushing your opponent back. That means you have the whole field of boost to play with, the whole field of possession to play with, and your opponents have none of that. Sammy with the read, playing that one down. The Sabres will find, I don't know how many times they've had a lead in this series. A lot, and here's another one. Another one.
Another one for Sammy. Another one for the Sabres, and they hop out to a 1-goal lead. And unfortunately, Lars, that was another touch from Poolsharker that was not one that they wanted. Bye-Bye and company.
That was another touch? You mean it was another one?
Exactly. But Poolsharker and company. The Knights now trying to find one of their own. Sammy getting another save. The ball banging around. Bye-Bye waiting here. No, wait, that's both Knight players in the corner. Dangerous positioning, but a good win from Poolsharker allows this pressure to stay.
I think the Knights relying a little heavily on their ability to challenge at the moment. And you know me, I think the most critical mechanic to have, Poolsharker demos the attacker, but in the recoil doesn't get back to the net. Sammy gets the second for the Sabres.
See, I don't know if Royal intentionally got demoed there, but that was huge. That knocked the defender off, like you said. Got it because of the recoil and taking advantage of it. The Sabres up 2, and Lars, they don't have to give up a goal to get 3 this time. They're trying to find 3 before the Knights can score 1.
Well, the Sabres continuing to hammer home that pressure, but the Knights keeping it even on shots. That's the one big story here is Sabres and Knights 1 for 1 on shooting towards the net. Sabres just finding a way to do it a little bit more effectively. They need to take a play. Ooh, there's a big demo out of Sammy. We'll try to slow down that clear. Poolsharker will get this one down, but loses control. One of the banes of the flat car is that one rolls over the top. Now an attack back the other way. Look at it past center. Sammy takes control. Royal doesn't find the finish, and Poolsharker will delay the pain. Royal turns too soon, doesn't pick up the boost, does get the challenge. Looking to clear away that last defender, put it on net. Here's an opportunity for Royal, and it's off the post and in.
Lars, stop spoiling the game. You said he delayed the pain. I'm saying, oh no, we know there's another goal coming. Lars had spoken, and Royal just waiting in front of the net. The soft touches, putting another one in.
Well, I'll just go ahead and save everyone the pain. I will retire from casting following this game. And I won't be spoiling anything anymore for anybody. Oh boy. But game 2, game 3. Oh wow. Game 3 underway. I can't even read numbers. Game 3 is underway. Pressure up and down the field.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Nobody's there. That was both Sabres players up. I mean, there was the pause. You and I both held our breath. Just 3-1.
Yeah.
We've been here before.
Okay, well, familiar territory. Bye-Bye will find a way to put that one on. That is a critical skill, especially at this level, to be able to punish from anywhere on the field when you see those open opportunities to put the ball on net. That one's rolling just wide. Poolsharker almost off the kickoff. Bye-Bye sends this one back down in. Sammy to return it. We've got a volley back and forth. No, I didn't see the net in the middle of the field for them to be sending this over, but apparently it's there as we're getting this one tennis match down and back.
Back and forth, and now an open net for Sammy. There was a defender, but that near post, there's nobody home. And that angle too sharp, and that Dominus even sharper.
Sammy just finding a way to make this happen. We started this series very, very evenly matched, but as time goes on, the Sabres continue to work their advantage just wider and wider. It's now on the Knights, the onus to get this one back under control, and they're struggling a little bit to find the offensive pressure they need. Here's one downfield. Bye-bye gets the physical play on Royal, trying to steal boost, steal possession, steal control, pass out to Poolsharker, who was ready for the clear and will not get an effective shot on the net.
I didn't know there was no boost.
Will get an effective bump. Wow.
You said it, the bump. I was getting ready to hold my breath because I saw him coming through. Royal had nothing in the tank, so that meant Sammy had to do something there. And so now Royal left with no beans, no hope, and 2 Knights staring at him and knocking down the door. It is a 2-goal deficit for them now.
That is the physical play that we love to see here. You need to make it a part of your rotation, a part of your attack. That was far down. Poolsharker will have an opportunity to get this one clear to the front of that. They do, but it's not gonna work anyways. Sammy, yet again, Sammy with 4 on 7 shots. Slow down. These people have families.
But doesn't matter. Sammy sees all and Sammy conquers all. It is 5-2, Lars. The fields are burning. The houses have crumbled. Everything is over. The Knights are being ransacked. The Sabres 5-2 here in game number 3. Bye-bye has to find something and find it now.
I guess we never really got to see what it'd be like if saber-toothed tigers and Knights found themselves in a field somewhere, and I think we're finding out that answer right now as those teeth make that short work of that armor. Royal picks up the 6th for the Sabres and a 2nd for themselves. Now looking for a hat trick, both players.
The Sabres are out and on the prowl. They're in control, Lars. They are striking, and Lars, I think is this another 3-1 that just happened? They scored 3, gave up a goal, gave up another one, and then scored another 3. Is that what just happened?
I think you're seeing a pattern here. One that the Knights would like to see turned around. Getting in the way. Poolsharker sends this one up towards the front of that. Sammy's going to bring this one back. Knights scrambling defensively. They haven't been able to effectively control transitions. There's a pass to bye-bye. Here's an opportunity. It's down into the corner. And unfortunately for the Knights, they won't find a way to finish that one off. Sabres walk away with their 3rd victory of the series. But remember, if you're just joining us here at Minor League Esports, this is Minor League Esports. We are going to play the next 2 games, despite the fact that Sabres have secured the series. The playoff implications are going to be games 1, not series 1. And thank God, honestly, for some of these teams, because the series 1 struggling a little bit on both sides, despite being almost 500 on wins.
Yep. And the series have been really troublesome from both of these squads. And that's like something you hate to see is like, usually you're like, oh man, these guys are like 2-5 in series. You expect a really just big discrepancy in records, but no. It was before this week. The Sabres were what? 17-18? Like, that's incredible.
Yeah,
that means,
like that.
And now they're 19-21?
Hey, but to the Sabres' credit, that's what matters when it comes down to playoffs. And they're putting themselves in a good position to make that wild card run through the playoffs. That's all. Hey, once playoffs start, your record doesn't matter anymore.
You're in, you're in.
It's all, yeah, that's it. So it doesn't matter how you get there, by hook or by crook, as long as you find a way to make it into playoffs. Sabres making an argument. Knights right now need to find a way to pick up some wins to prevent that deficit from extending anymore.
Yeah, this is really a battle for that wild card spot. And I mean, plain and simple, the Sabres, they have put their best foot forward. They have made their claim to it. They're winning this series with a 3-0 lead right now, and they're going to try and make it closer and closer and try and snatch that with a possible 4-1 or 5-0. Knights, you got to fix it. No, you can't give up 3 goals after you're 1 every time. That just does not work. Math does not work out or in. The fake here from Sabres as Sammy throws it back. Royal, though, not able to find it this time.
You can tell the Sabres are feeling themselves, leading with a fake, and that one will go wide of the net. Royal with control. Bye-bye throws themselves at this, and Royal will turn this one back down. And we've seen this now twice, the throw down the field to wide of the net. Talked about it earlier. It's critical to be able to find and punish from anywhere on the field. Team struggling so far, but only 30 seconds gone. Plenty of time left to turn this one around.
Well, that's opportunities for the Sabres have been turned away by themselves and a little bit of opportunistic defense. Bye-bye 50ing hard there at midfield. That was 2 cars up in 2s, Lars. I kind of had to hold my breath there, as that would be no one back for the Sabres. As now we get to this 1 minute played. No goals have been scored. A slowdown in the pace as Bye-bye throws it off the sidewall here. Got to be careful as Royal. That Octane has a ton of control. A nice flick here, and that's going to be pixel perfect. It drops in.
Oh, wow. What a placement out of Royal, finding just as close to the bar as you can get without playing it back out. It actually does bar down ever so gently. Just a, wow, easy for Royal to get that one up over top. You said the word, the control. That's something that is so critical in being able to make those plays with that kind of speed, is to be able to settle that ball on top of your card, set up that flick. Sammy is looking for one here, and sometimes that can be struggling. You get the catch, but it's bouncing, it's bobbling a little bit, and then you go to hit that flick, and you just catch that bounce at the wrong time. It's way off. You don't get what you need. Not for Royal. It's settled, it's calm, it's cool, it's collected. It's Royal in nature. Now the Sabres find themselves in the lead yet again.
It's truly regal, and it's nice to see, but you need to see Bye-Bye and Poole start to find something, and they are cooking there. A beautiful redirect. Bye-Bye, not a lot of boost, but still trying to keep the pressure on Royal. Has it on top of that Octane. Oh no, this man has the ball in his car again, but ends up giving it up this time. Sammy in the corner, has boost, has ball, but does not have a teammate in the same zip code as Royal backed off. Just kind of a lone Sabre there, surrounded by Knights on the offensive attack.
Well, one Sabre or two Sabres doesn't seem to make a difference. They stand tall in the defensive end, and they keep these Knights from being able to effectively attack the net. And I have to be honest, that was a Season 8 night. And to see the predicament they find themselves in is a little troubling, but plenty of time, and every game we can't be giving up. With 2.5 minutes left in game number 4, Sabres continue to play the game they like to play, and they continue to find success. With Sammy and Royal on the attack, Sammy elects to back off, and they see Poolsharker will have that one first.
That was a big-time win there for the Sabres, but they could not catch up to this ball. Poolsharker staying on top, it means it's awkward for Bye-Bye, but Bye-Bye stuck near post, so this is just awkward in general as the Knights handshake there in possession, but end up winning it. Poolsharker doesn't want to rush this, but might want to, because if he goes a little bit quicker, he gets a goal. Bye-Bye technically with a bump, but they tie this one up.
Well, Poolsharker keeping this one close, gets good pressure down there, and Bye-Bye looking for that physical play, and that's where physical play is so critical, is you don't actually have to make the physical play. You draw attention away from the defender from what they need to be doing to stop that ball, and now they're thinking about what's happening behind them, around them, in front of them, whatever it is that attack is coming from. It just makes it that much harder to pick up a save.
It's just the one singular shot of the person's face and the bead of sweat starts staring or falling down their head. That's what that is. You didn't get the demo, you didn't get the bump, you just got the pressure. They can feel it, Lars, and that was building. The Knights take advantage of it. They tied this game up. A very good pass. Bye-Bye, though. Cheating too far infield. A midfield pass turned away by a little bit of miscommunication. An open net for Poolsharker. Poolsharker still on it here. Enough boost to go up. A nice soft touch on the rear of the Dominus, but he can't find the angle. Royal pushes it back out, and now a chance for the Sabres.
We talked about those posts in, out. It's very hard to tell where it's going to be, but for Poolsharker, it's back out, and they won't find a way. Royal getting that back pass out of Sammy, and Sabres just feel comfortable on the field. It's very interesting watching a lot of Rocket League. You can tell when players, like you said, you can see that bead of sweat dripping down the side of their face, or you can see if they're just ice cold, freezing out their room. Right now, Sabres playing very comfortable despite the scoreline being quite as secure as they're used to.
Well, it's a tie ball game, and the way they scored at any point in the series, they are comfortable with it as long as they're not down multiple goals. But, you know, they've overcome a big deficit before. They'll do it again. Poolsharker waiting for it midfield patiently. I can see both reasons why doing that. You want to push there for the goal, but you don't want to push. You saw Bye-Bye in the corner, so not wanting to overcommit, keep this game tied, and not make the big-time mistake.
Right now, a little bit conservative, but you know what we like to say, best defense, is a good offense, and it's not enough to just protect your net. You need to find a way to put it the other way. Here's an opportunity. Poolsharker turns, throws it on the net, and Poolsharker gives the lead to the Knights with 9 seconds remaining. A
double commit is absolutely killer here. The Sabres, no one in net, and that ball bounces off of the post, and it comes back towards the Sabre. Now, that would have been redirected in by a Knights player. There were two Knights there. The Sabres crashing across, just trying to make something happen. They cannot get it here. The Knights up 1 goal, 7 seconds left.
Well, it's a good position for the Knights. They just need to hold on. Let this ball die here on 0 seconds, and they will. The Knights pick up their first victory of the series. A slugfest back and forth, keeping this one close, keeping this one competitive. But at the end of the day, it'll be the Knights to pick up a win. Now, can they carry this momentum into game number 5? They did not outshoot the Sabres. They didn't tie the Sabres for the first time in a long time on shots, but they find a way to make quality work in their favor, take advantage of a mistouch in the defensive end from the Sabres that allow that ball to just kind of sit in front of their net and well-placed, post and in for Poolsharker. Retribution for that earlier touch that was post out. And physical play also coming up huge on the side of the Knights. You really can't have too much of it. You can't.
You can't, Lars. Well, I want to go harken back to what you were talking about. You rarely get the opportunity to make up for a big-time mistake, and that's exactly what Poolsharker did. Man had 100% of the shots here for the Knights. You know, Lars, I don't know about you, but I don't call it whenever someone's hot. It just ends up being on that car, and that's what it seemed like for Poolsharker. They didn't intentionally try and feed him all 5 shots, but that's just where he was. He was around bye-bye, was able to get those touches off of those Sabres, so feed the guy with the hot hands, continue riding it, and Knights find a way to take one back, and if they can find another one here, that'll make it a 3-2 instead of a 4-1.
Yeah, that's going to be so huge for the Knights as they try to duke it out here with the Sabres for that wild card slot. They need to find a way to at least keep this game differential close. Obviously, Sabres already picking up 3 games. They're going to extend their bit of an advantage that they already have by at least 1 game. Knights, as we get into the last couple of weeks of the, get into the later half of the season, it's going to be critical for them to have every single game they can get their hands on.
Both of these teams are going to be very stingy with the games that they give up. Bye-bye, not giving up an open net shot. Both Sabres up, and that's Royal and the Merc, mind you. Bye-bye taking advantage of it, and an early goal here for the Knights.
What a shot all the way down the field. Quick, aggressive, and putting that one almost dead center, just slightly off to the right. And calling the Merc. That is a confident Royal, despite dropping game number 4. Saying, we're going to come out here and muscle Merc, muscle Dominus, Sammy with the 50.
See, it's not about his confidence, it's about Sammy's confidence. Lars confident on the big-time 50 here. Sometimes people think they need to be the first car to a 50. Sammy knew he had to have the better positioning and lets that defender hit first and then sneaks it behind him.
Good 50. And that, said before, is the single most important individual mechanic when it comes to Team Rocket League. That ability to 50 effectively and consistently. Now, Royal, I think, with the Merc, maybe looking to do that, but getting the flick over the top. Poolsharker will deny the Merc goal, but Sammy will cycle back through and secure it. What an attack out of the Sabres.
Lars, we know that car has power, but did you see the finesse with that van? Got it on top of the car at a beautiful flick.
Yeah, you never think of a Merc as having finesse, but Royal will make it look like it does. It's just a light touch on the controls, exactly what it needs. Sammy out into the corner. We're just having too much fun here. The scoreline aside, this has just been an awesome series back.
Sabres definitely have enjoyed their time. When they get to score, they score in bunches. The Knights, it's been just finding pockets of either really offensive dominance or defensive masterclasses, and it's just been never consistent. They get a couple wins because of a couple of big outscoring plays, like the big 5 shots from Poolsharker last game. They've had some good defensive stands, but it's never meshed together. And right now, it's a 2-1 game. The Sabres are up, and so it's up to them to find some consistency, find a goal here. Poolsharker, a soft touch there, but denied by Royal. That's flipping the pitch again.
The timing on bye-bye to collect this one, take it to the corner, but very aggressively pressured by Sammy. That's something that the Sabres have done a lot of here in this series, is getting in the face of the Knights. Knights have plenty of skill on their side. They just aren't getting the space to make the plays they want to make, as the Sabres are very quick to challenge, very quick to get up in their face, prevent any kind of mechanical play from developing.
Was a heck of an angle from Bye-Bye there. That almost snuck its way in, not credited for a shot, but that was a threatening look. But both Sabres players knew the angle wasn't there. That's a double from the Sabres. Bye-Bye running up to it. Another double from the Sabre. A double-double commit, Lars. That is 4 cars for 2 balls, and there are only 2 Sabres on the pitch.
They were on. That's how you're gonna win RLCS. Actually, they're just so in tune with each other. They're so aware of what's happening, and they're on such the same page that naturally they're gonna end up in the same place. That's what you know. That's when you know you've got a good cohesive team. Oh, what a pass now!
There was a beautiful pass there, but Poolsharker taking advantage of it and notching this game up. Both Sabres players up means there's nobody home. Poolsharker flips the pitch and finds that big-time goal. 2-2-2-2-2.
Sabres playing, oh my goodness. Sabres playing a little fast and loose with it. It's going with the double commits. Now we've got twos across the scoreboard. The other twos to be had here. 2 shots for both Sammy and Royal and 2 shots for Bye Bye. All right, we had enough fun with the twos. totally scrambled at this point as these teams are scrambling to get this ball in front of the net. Royal, an opportunity, finds the far corner. Didn't need to. Nobody's home. The Sabres find themselves in the lead. Oh, for the 50th time, we'll say it.
An awkward touch by a Knight in front of the net. How many times do we hear that? It just pops up, and then the Sabres, very opportunistic, pouncing on it whenever they can, able to find another lead. Poolsharker and company, they claw back into these games and then just end up making a mistake on the back end, and it just falls apart from there. Another big 50, Sammy. That is 2 Sabres versus 1 Soul Knight. The Sabres swarming around, and it's a 2-goal lead again.
Well, 50, but now the 50 from Royal in the Merc. I mean, come on, you see the Merc coming towards a 50, and all right, let them have it. It's got so much big, boisterous power coming down the field in the Merc. Royal looking to finish this one off, tries to slow play that one, and 50, that one low, will get beat out by Bye Bye. This one down into the back wall. Everybody's up for this one. Deep in Sabres territory, but nothing will come from it just yet as Sammy takes this one back down the field. Looking to pass across the Royal, who sends that one down into the Knights' corner.
A little bit too sharp of an angle there from that big Merc. And Lars, everyone talks about hitbox in Rocket League. You want the long card, you want the more octane, you want the more in the middle. Play the Merc. It's the simplest hitbox in the game. Your hitbox is literally a box. It's a big rectangle, but a big-time save there from Bye Bye. Trying to put the shot on. The Knights turned away again. Now a pass to Bye Bye. Another good shot, but this time it finds the way, and credited for a bicycle touch, mind you.
This is the pressure. This is the aggressive attack that the Knights have needed. The ability to control the ball on the offensive end and find accurate passes in shooting lanes with no defenders. Knights bring this within 1. Now a tenuous lead on the side of the Sabres.
Sammy throwing it back, a chance for that Sabre shot, but Poolsharker was technically there. Even if that ball was on, it would have been turned away. Royal waiting patiently in the wing at midfield. Sharker throwing it back. Bye Bye has to win the 50 and doesn't. That big Merc body standing tall. Poolsharker about to get demoed if he's not careful. Gets chased. Has a lot of room. Bar out and out. Bye Bye puts another touch, but Sammy, the savior medal, keeps this one being tied.
Nice play by Sammy there to get up in the face and get that one clear. Now Bye Bye playing this one through the corner. Trying to get that one in front of the net. Knights need to find something here to try to pick up a second win here in this series. Down by 1. Scant few seconds remaining on the clock. Bye Bye trying to get this one across the mid. It's a pass out to Poolsharker. Read by Sammy. Doesn't matter. Poolsharker's there first. Royal to clean it up. That one's off the crossbar. Back out. Now loose in the corner. And seconds ticking off the clock. Critical seconds. A slow play from Poolsharker. This is dangerous. Royal will come up and challenge. That is the game in favor of the Sabres. Well played to all the players on the field, but the Sabres with a dominating victory, 4-1.
4-1, and both of these teams go back to game 1 ways, Lars. 9 shots to 10. The offenses, they got hemmed in, but in game 5, both teams opened the door, threw everything in the kitchen sink, and at the end, once again, it's one single goal that separates these teams, and it's a 4-3 win for the Sabres, and it turns into a 4-1 series win for them.
Yeah, that is well played out of the Sabres. They controlled that series. They controlled the pace of play. They controlled the action. Knights had flashes of greatness, and I hate saying that term because it gets used a lot, but it's really what happened here. The Knights, when they were on, they were on. they just weren't on as often as they needed to be. They needed to find a way to just flick that switch and leave it there. Leave that control, leave that pressure. Unfortunately, they don't find a way to do it.
It's really hard to do that. Some teams are really light switchy, Lars, and you got to figure out what way, as a teammate or as a player yourself, you can turn yourself on and off. And so you want to know at what way can they fight it back, because it's a wild card spot for them. It's still there. It's just a little bit taller of a mountain to climb now. And then you're looking at the Sabres. They're very happy. They walk away with 4 big wins. I think that pushes them above that 500 mark that they've been scraping at for so long. And so, Sabres, very good win tonight. Knights, a lot of good showing. It's just going to be consistency on their end that I asked for.
Yeah, and while they'll have a little bit of time left here in the season here for Season 12 of Minor League Esports to make that happen. Speaking of which, if you're not a member of the Minor League Esports community already, you can drop a follow on all 3 of our channels. Yes, MLE Sports GG, MLE Sports GG2, where you're watching us right now, and MLE Sports GG3, where we bring you action, like, I don't know, RLCS every now and again, some things like that.
Yeah, this guy's done that a couple times.
Yeah, a couple of times. I believe you have as well. So, but you can also join and be one of the players here on the field, mlesports.gg/apply. You can also grab some merch. I'm not repping mine right now. I left it in another place, unfortunately. I'll have to get it back soon here, but I just don't own enough MLE merch, I think, is really what that is. Also, mlesports.gg, you've got merch, articles, stats, anything you would need out of a competitive league. But that does it here for us here on MLE Sports GG2. MLE Sports GG1, however, is going to bring you one final matchup broadcast by the Sleeky and the Supersonic. So that's talk about power casters. That's a pairing. Stick around for the raid. Sharks versus Wizards, Academy League. We're done here. Have a good night.